Hi, my name is Allie Searles, and I'm the founder and CEO of Don't Be Breedist. And welcome back to Training Tip Tuesdays. Unfortunately, last week I did have an incident that set off my PTSD trigger, so it took a couple days to get realigned, but we're back filming and very happy about it. So this week we are going to go over the EasyWalk. It's the PetSafe EasyWalk Harness. We have this up on our website. And I will say, when I first bought this from PetSmart, I think it was hanging on the shelf like this. And so when I brought it home, I wasn't even sure how to put it on. I don't recall if there were directions on the tag, but I don't remember seeing any. So I remember spending time like trying to figure it out. I thought I figured it out until I just put these products on my store and realized I've had it wrong for the last 6 months, and I'm even a dog trainer. So it is what it is, and it's one of the reasons why my brand, I want to really go out of my way to help the community with better instructions on the equipment so it's less confusing. I really like that this one has a separate color, so when you go to put it on, you can immediately go, okay, this is what's going to go for this one underneath the girth on this part of them, and then this goes in the front. I actually had it in the back, and I still do it that way at times, and I'll show exactly why I do that. And again, any tips I have for the training are for me training my service dog Forrest, who's 2.5 years old, currently in his terrible twos. We are re-going over all the training we've done in the last 2 years, from sit, all the basics. We call it going back to kindergarten. So we will go back to kindergarten as many times that we need to in his life to make sure that everything is still clean and proper. So you're going to see Forrest maybe not mine sometimes today. And to be honest, I think about it like a 16 to 18 hormonal teenager, and they don't always mind either. So we're going to do our best. Forrest, here. No. Forrest, here. Yes, good job. Nice here, good boy. Forrest is going to be my model to show you guys how we use this. So I unclip both sides. You will, see if I can position Forrest. Forrest, forward, yes. And we're gonna go this way. Forrest, can you stand? Good stand, Forrest, good stand. So you're gonna have the martingale hoop. That's this part that has the extension on it. This is gonna go up to his front on his chest. I like to hook the back black over first, because if I hook the bottom underneath the girth, it's just gonna fall. And I might not be saying the right word for that. I'll need to double check that. And then you hook it underneath. Hi, baby. And then you would take, this is a random leash that I just found in my bag. This isn't the one that I use, because he can get a little reactive sometimes on, depends on the person, and especially depends on the PTSD symptoms that I have of that day. So we're going to work with that on a new trainer soon. And if you have any recommendations for anybody that does privates, works with service dogs, you can break, works with service dogs, please let me know. I would love to start working with a new one. I do have one in mind, but we've also been through a bad session that wasn't just one. So he's had some trauma from that. I've had some added trauma for that. So on my PTSD, it's very hard to want to go back into that after having some bad experiences. But I've also had very good experiences before that. So that's what helps me kind of push through. It was bad. We need a break from it, and we'll take some time, and then we'll go back to it when we're ready. Just like I do with my PTSD and my trauma. So going back to the EasySafe Pet Harness, and good boy, thank you for coming back. And so you'll hook it to the front. When I walk, I keep Forrest in a foos, which means his head is huge. So I do let his head come in front of my kneecap, but it's keeping the collar to my side. And when my arm is straight, the martingale in the front, we come this way, is keeping him back this way. And it does pull up. This one needs to be tightened a little bit on him. So I'm going to show why I hook it in the back sometimes. And if this is wrong, please let me know if this will affect him. But what I started to notice on Forrest after using anything in the front and pulling the leash back, Forrest, can you lift your head? There you go. Any pulling the leash, and you see the harness pulling across his shoulder. There was a period of time that I touched Forrest's shoulder. Forrest, can you seats? Yes, good seats. Nice job. Good seats. There was a time that I was using the equipment in the front and pulling it back, and I even had a double hook onto it. Nope. And good seats. Yes, good seats. We follow through, and then I'll make him hold for a minute. Nope. For seats. Yes, good seats. Okay, plots. Good boy. Forrest doesn't like to sit in his seats. It really bothers his hips. So I do at times let him go down into a settle. But what I notice, hey, Forrest, can you stand? Yes, good stand. One of the things of why I'm not a fan of using this in the front is when this pulls back, it's harder to see with his head. It goes into this. So at one point I was taking off his equipment, and when I touched his shoulder, he was like flinching, and it was so tender and sore for him. So I switched the harness now. Here, let's go this way. Good boy. Come this way. Yes, nice job. So what I do, Forrest, stand? Yes, good stand. We also use the command get dressed. So I have a certain spot in rug, which I'll show in another video, for him to come to when I say, anytime it's time for us to take equipment off, put equipment on, it keeps him in one place. It keeps him calm and standing patiently. And I really like that. So I'll show that in another video. So the other way that I put this harness on, especially if he's swimming, because it can be up over his feet. And if it's from the front to the side, I notice his legs get tangled in. And I don't like that with him swimming. I think that's more dangerous. So what we've been doing, Forrest, forward. Yes, good forward. I also, when I teach him something like forward, I teach him backwards too, so that it kind of clicks a little bit faster when he has the opposite of something. I'm like that, like mother, like son. But I like having it up here. Personally, for me, I would rather have a martingale pulled on me from the back than I would on my neck. He also has neck sensitivities, and I will explain that in the next video of why we came back to using this again from the soft prong collar until we can just meet with a trainer and talk more about it with them. But I do like this for right now. I'm keeping it in the front when we're on walks. Nope. Forward. Yes, sorry. I might have not given you the command on that one. Break. I also do have ADHD, so I have to be aware of if I might have forgotten or told him to do something, and to also add that into play, because he's my first service dog that I've been training, and he has been a journey. And I definitely probably overshot a little bit trying to do it my first time all by myself and having a brand new breed after having about 10 labs and golden retrievers. But I've learned so much. I can't wait to get other trainers on to help the community and give other people advice and things. But let me know what other equipment you'd like to see. Let me know if there's any questions, if anything is confusing. This now comes, it will come in a couple other colors, but right now we just have it in the black and red because that's what they had in every single size. And for Don't Be Breedist, right now when you go onto the website, you will see that it looks a little funny. Like you'll go on, you'll see every size of everything, instead of like when you go shop for a shirt, you go into the one product and click through. Right now, because of the development that we're waiting on, we have to have it set up like that. But I'm hoping that it will show an easier view of, hey, we have all sizes for anything that we sell. I will not sell it if it doesn't have, at least starting out right now, a small, medium, and large, which should be pretty basic. But going through and trying to find supplies for my store, I found, wow, some brands have like 14 sizes between a small and medium instead of just making 3 sizes of a small, medium, large. So my goal with Don't Be Breedist is just to hit all of the dog problems we have in our community and what can we do together and what can we do with technology to help the community in other ways that we haven't done yet so far? Like what toys could be made better? What clothing could be better? What equipment could be better? So I think it will be really fun to involve everybody in the process of, if this isn't working for you, let's work together and make it better. Or let's make, if it doesn't exist, let's make it exist. Because I think over the last 20 years, there hasn't been that much innovation. And I'm really excited for this journey to see what we can do as a community and how we can better have dogs in society and make everybody with service dogs and dogs feel safer to be out and happier in their day to day. And I'm just very excited for this journey. So stick around. We'll be here every week for Training Tip Tuesdays, and then we'll be sharing a lot more videos throughout the week. And I'm really excited to just go on this journey with everybody. But all right, check out this the PetSafe EasyWalk Harness on our website. I will tag it in this as well so you can get it. It is great. You get 10% off your first purchase with code DON'TBeBreedist, all caps, no apostrophe. This is a great harness, and I've used it on my adoptee as well, and it worked great. And she's a very strong puller. So we will continue to test out equipment, and I'm very excited. So thanks for coming along.